I legit was just like, wait, what's going on? What are we doing here? And yeah, I gotta take that seriously. But yeah, that was a funny a funny video because I was like, man, they really don't get it.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Do you want a pen that doesn't click?
That's gonna be tough. I'm gonna swing it around more than click it.
Okay.
I'll be good with this. That is a good question.
I'm just writing notes real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Like, if that's what like you want people to see.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Cause I wanna scream.
What else?
I am ready.
I did concert. Is that it? I think that's it.
Perfect. That pen went flying. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. How do we start this off?
We just say like, "Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the library."
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. I hate this. I have so much coffee in me right now.
I think you're stupid, and I think it's the best book ever written.
I'm gonna hate you if you actually believe that. Welcome back, everyone. We're La Library. I'm Dantes.
I'm Jacob.
And today we're talking about everything that we've done this week. We're doing our weekly noise. This is number 3. The third weekly noise. Are you excited about that? Yes, this is number 3. Okay. We've only done 2.
I am excited about it. Yeah.
Awesome. I got a bunch of reading in this week. And there's a couple other things that happened throughout the week that I want to talk about because big news.
I got more than I usually do, but it's not a crazy amount.
Okay, cool. Do you want to go first or?
Well, do you want to talk about Attic first?
Yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about this book because this has been driving me insane for the last 2 days, and I just finished it yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't know even when I finished this, but it is. So please, you go
so
first.
we both read this book for a book club.
Yes.
It is Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. We both did not like it.
Hated it. I hated it.
You are far harsher on it than I am, and I still really didn't like it.
Yeah.
The book is about this family who, I'm trying to think how to do this without spoiling a lot. Okay.
So the book is about this family that recently lost the father. Mm-hmm. So this recently widowed mom decides to write to her parents, her estranged parents that are filthy rich, and takes her kids to move in with her parents. But the thing is, the father can't find out about the kids, so the kids are stuck in the attic essentially throughout the entirety of the book, so that she could inherit her father's wealth, so get back into his good graces and then inherit his wealth. Mm-hmm. And that's the premise of the story. Yeah,
how do you want to talk about the things we didn't like? Because I feel like you can't really do that without spoiling things.
I honestly don't want people to read this. So I'm gonna be not going into like super deep spoilers, but we have to be talking about themes and what the fuck happens in that book because I am like insane with this.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, like what did connect for me, and this is like the non-spoilery part because so this first part kind of like it doesn't set the tone for me, and it kind of like took me out of left field. And this is where I'm just like, okay, so this is the kind of book that we're going to be reading. And that's when the cops come in to tell the mom that her husband's dead. And the way they do it is, so there was this drunk driver that was driving on the wrong side of the road and going into a head-on collision with your husband. But then he goes and swerves out of the way and then was luckily okay up until he clips a fucking car and then starts, but that didn't kill him. It was just like it felt like a comedy sketch, and I'm like, this is not the tone that I've actually been interpreting from this story.
I didn't even
right now. I'm like, okay, this is where it's gonna get weird.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but you're absolutely right. It is like comical the way he dies.
Yeah, it was like 4 near misses until the final thing kills him.
Can I tell you my theory on that?
Okay, please.
My theory on that is that the dad isn't actually dead. Because the book is like such like it's so very like soap opera-y. Mm-hmm. It's like very soapy.
So do you think this is book 1 of the series?
Yeah, it's a series. There's like 11 or 12 of them or something. Uh-huh. I think later in the series he might be alive, especially because I think the wife is like, "Are you sure it was him?" And they're like, no one else could have been driving the car.
Yeah, they're like HIV. They're like the stupid South Park joke is like, no, I'm HIV positive. That's what it felt like. It was that kind of fucking sketch that was going on, and I'm just like, what's going on here? What this is not how I feel like this book is going, and from what I hear, it's like, I was perplexed by that. Mm-hmm. And the next thing I want to say, and this is where I got a little bit of pushback, and so I'm like, correcting myself in how I'm presenting this information. The kids feel very good as kids. They feel not very good as kids. They feel mostly good as kids. Like I believe them as kids. However, so there's 4 children. There's the oldest boy, the girl who's telling the story in a frame narrative sense, and then the 2 younger ones that are twins, boy and girl. The 2 oldest, the boy and girl, when they speak with each other, they don't feel like kids their age. They are supposed to be, in the start of this book, I think they're supposed to be 12 and 15-year-old middle-class children. Like the dad was a salesman, and they didn't grow up with a lot of money, and I think they didn't have like a grand education. By the way, I think this story takes place in the 50s. So the topics of their discussion and the word choice that they use, and I know this is something that I like. It takes me out quicker than a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. But like when something doesn't sound right to me, when it doesn't feel real to me, I'm already kind of like, what the hell is going on? I'm not enjoying this. I'm going to be critiquing it more. So the 2 kids talking to each other is another point that I was kind of like really like, I'm not really vibing with this book as much.
Okay, so I would push back on that a tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
Sure.
And I think it's that the older brother.
Yeah, he's a nerd. He's a nerd. So I'm not Chris, yes.
Yeah. Well, he's a nerd, but he also is a nerd in a way where like he really wants everybody else to think he's smart, I think. Because there's moments in the book where he'll say something about like something he's read, and it's like it's not correct.
Yeah.
But he like says it as it's being correct, and the other kids just kind of accept it because they don't know. They're kids, yeah. They don't know the information. And
him not so much. It was a girl. It was a girl that was kind of like.
What? I don't remember the specifics, but there's one point in the book where he says something, and she says, "No, that's not correct," and he like gets very upset and defensive about it. So I think for him, it's like he's like trying to seem very intelligent like all the time, mm-hmm. and he doesn't want that to be called out.
Yeah. I can see that as his character, but it was just more like some of the words that were used in how they were talking about. By the way, this is no longer a weekly noise. This is just a deep dive into Flowers in the Attic. Yeah, it was just like the words that they use and just like the topics or like how they approached certain like topics that I was just like, man, this just sounds weird. It sounds like artificial to me.
I can see that.
Okay. Now, this is where I really hate the book and I have to go into it. So this is spoilers. I'm gonna put a little note here of when you can skip to if you don't want to hear what the actual like big issues about this fucking book is theme wise. And yeah, just skip ahead, please. Or like if you're triggered easily, this is like very triggering and stuff like that. Yeah. So like, please skip ahead to the front. Okay. The thing I hated about this fucking story.
I know what you're about to say.
Is please. I want to hear the joke.
The joke.
I thought you were gonna say.
I don't have a joke for it.
I thought you were gonna say like, that the parents weren't rough enough or tough enough on them. So, the big things was the romanticization of incest, the hypersexualization and oversexualization of the kids
of the whole book, to be honest,
of the entire thing, and especially like these are all very like horrifying and very triggering things in and of itself. But I think what really kind of disgusted me was the hyper romanticization of these fucking instances of the incest between the kids, the weird fucking like incestual tension between the mom and the son,
yep.
And obviously the grandmother being a ginormous religious piece of shit and like using psychopath and using that as a justification to inflict harm on these fucking kids mentally, physically, and emotionally. So those are the big fucking things and like, again, when I say the hyper-romanticization of this of incest between the kids and the incestual tension between the mom and the fucking kids is like, so our friend V kind of gave me the words that I needed to actually like explain this, because I understood it, but I didn't know how to put it into like actual context, is the verbiage that's used, especially with regards to the kids, is not medical terms that you go like if you try to like present something horrifying and not make it seem like you're into it or not try to like romanticize it, like you would use terms like penis or like all these kind of like terms that make it seem more fucking like legalized or more like dry,
like sterile language.
Yeah, sterile. There you are.
Yeah.
Sterile language instead of using like his engorged member or fucking like his cock and all that shit. It's just or like her cherry nipples and it's fucking disgusting. And it's talking about like kids. And yeah, I was just, and then the mom being a ginormous fucking gaslighter and manipulative bitch, and the grandmother just I think the grandmother was the least of my fucking problems with this fucking book.
Yeah, you want to know? I think the whole book is it's weirdly like I would say like bordering on like obsessed with sex.
Yes.
Even before a lot of the more incestuous stuff like starts happening like overtly, they are talking to their mom, their siblings. All of them are except for like the very little kids. They're all like calling each other sexy.
Yeah.
Like that is the word they use. Like I'm not being hyperbolic. Like they say like, "Oh no, mom, you look so sexy," but like they don't. Well, I mean, like the tension is there where like you're like, do they mean that or are they?
Oh, by the way, the reason why the parents hate the fucking mom or they are estranged from the mom is because she entered in a incestuous relationship with her half uncle that's only like 3 years older. So it's like her dad's younger brother from another marriage or like mom, whatever. So that's the reason why the parents don't like the kids.
Why the mother was estranged and why they don't like the kids.
Yeah, so then
they didn't know about the kids until they moved there.
Died.
And it also kind of provides the justification for why the grandmother is like so strict with certain things.
Yes,
but she's also just a psychopath.
She's a psychotic.
Oh, I have another. You want to hear another theory I have?
Go, please.
I think Christopher the son, not Christopher the father, is the father of the twins. I have no basis for this really, except for like the soap opera aspect. But also at the beginning of the book, when she tells the two older kids that she's pregnant with twins, he has a very, very, very weird reaction.
No, he does. He does, and that would explain why he's so hyper fucking like loyal to the mom too. I think I'm gonna throw up. This is like I hate this book. And I can't wait to talk about this in book club. I know I've said like 4 different voice notes to 4 different people.
Yeah, that are all like over 5 minutes long.
Yes, and each time I get louder and louder. I don't become more demure in this. I get more rabid about the fucking book.
But yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Yes. So that's the first book that we read. Please, I need you to start with yours, and I'll calm down hopefully and get with mine.
So the other book I finished this week was Red Country by Joe Abercrombie.
Awesome. I want to hear your take on it because
I loved this.
Yes.
I was very surprised. I loved this. I think it is the best first law book I've read so far.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's crazy that people think this is like the weakest book most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that people say this is the book of the standalones that you can skip. Because from what I know about Age of Madness, which isn't a lot, but the few things I do know, like I'm like this book feels very important for setting that stuff up.
I think the heroes is more, but sure? Question mark? I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I could be super wrong because I haven't read Age of Madness yet. I'm just going off of like some of the concepts I know about. Okay. But I don't want to spoil anything. And this I don't know, it felt very important to me, like some of the stuff that was happening. Yeah. Not some of the stuff that was happening like directly in the plot, but some of the stuff that was happening like tangentially, like with the politics and stuff. Yeah, okay. That I'm surprised people say that this is the one you can skip.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say skip any of them. I like all the books. I think the best one of the first like 6 that you were talking about is Last Argument of the Kings, even though I love the Blade itself. And I think I personally enjoyed Best Served Cold, but I understand that the Heroes is the best one for me, at least.
I mean, I think Red Country is the best one. I think it's very close with the Heroes, though. Okay. The Heroes, after I finished the book, I was kind of like, I still think the Heroes is my favorite, but after a few days, I was like, no, I think Red Country is. Oh wow. Okay, good for you, man. Is way more the favorite.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
By the way, he has a new haircut. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
Okay.
If you got 20 minutes into the video and you couldn't.
How long did that part go for?
That part was like 15 minutes long.
I was.
All right. What did you read?
Is that all you read?
For novels, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
and then I have like a currently reading.
Okay, yeah, perfect. All right. So what I read, and I actually have them here. So the first one I finished was the second book of the Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham, It is A Betrayal in Winter. I like this one a lot, man. It really kind of like it helped make this series worth like the read and everything.
This is the third one?
This is the second one.
The second one, okay.
Yeah, so the first one is A Shadow in Summer, which I enjoyed. It was good enough, and I felt like there was enough there that it made me want to continue reading. This one I liked a lot. I felt like the story was more cohesive. The characters were better, because I guess there wasn't as much of exploration into their past, and it was more just about like how they're developing now. And yeah, I just enjoyed this a lot more, and I like the world building a little bit more in this, and I'm looking forward to continuing this. Hopefully, I'm part of a Secret Santa thing, and hopefully they get me that.
How does the book order go?
So Shadow, it's summer, winter, and then fall, spring, autumn, spring.
I don't like that.
I was looking at it too, and I was kind of like weirded out by it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good. It's good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the book.
It's not that big a deal. I'm being like
No, I know. I get it though. I know you're being facetious, but I get it too. The next one I read is, well, this is not the next one I read, but it's one I picked up right now, is The Wager by David Gran. This is a tale of shipwreck, mutiny, and murder. It follows the story of The Wager. It's a British ship in South America or around the coast of South America, and there's a mutiny that happens, and they mutiny against a piece of shit captain. And then they get back home, and it's their story versus the captain's story.
And this is narrative nonfiction.
Yes.
This isn't fiction.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be...
Yeah, narrative
You
nonfiction.
can say
Yes.
that.
So it's a history book. So thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a three and change. Betrayal in Winter, I gave it like a 4.25.
What'd you give Flowers in the Attic?
If I could give it a negative score, I would give it a negative score. I gave it a 0.25 on Storygraph because that's the lowest I could go. I'm wondering if I could choose a 0. I'll find out and I'll let you know.
I don't go below 1, so I've never even tried.
I got so upset with that. But yeah, this is I enjoyed it enough. I think it's a good read. I know several people are reading this right now, especially over on the History Sickles channel with Kist, and they're enjoying it too. I still liked. I read another like I guess similarly themed historical nonfiction. I guess like piracy-ish, and the British Empire called Born to be Hanged, and I like that one better. That one I thought was more interesting. There was more going on, and it kept me more engaged. This one was fine. They did a good job. You see Lord Byron's great-great-grandfather or great-grandfather or grandfather, whatever it is.
Oh,
so yeah, it's interesting that he was actually part of this. And then the one that I read that I absolutely loved is To Green Angel Tower by Tad Williams. I give this a 5 stars. I was saying it in the last weekly that I was really enjoying the characters and how they felt like they felt more real to me in this one. They felt like more like secure and solid and actual like enjoyable in this one. I did like the first 2 a lot too, but this is the first one, the only one I've given a 5-star to, and not just because of the characters, but the pacing and the plot and everything. It was just really good, and that ending is insane. The ending really like brings it all together, and it makes me. This book actually made me want to read the continuing sequel series. Well, before I was just like, yeah, I'll read that eventually. No, this one makes me want to get into it a lot sooner than before.
That was really awesome.
Yeah. So that's my week. You want to talk about your comics?
All right, so comics that I finished, this is all still New 52. Mm-hmm. I finished The Flash Volume 1, and I finished Aquaman Volume 1.
Okay.
These were both fantastic.
Oh, both
of them were fantastic.
Cool.
I have slogged through a lot of not so great things, and I was like, I need to give myself a little treat.
Good.
I knew Aquaman was good already because I had read it in the past, and The Flash was fantastic. Mm-hmm. The Flash, I really like the art in The Flash.
Who's the artist?
It has, I can't remember off the top of my head. I should have written it down.
You could have.
So, The Flash Volume 1. The writer is Francis Vanderpool. The artist is the lead artist was Brian Bucoletto. I hope I'm saying that right.
Sure.
It was I really liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. I particularly like the art. I like when comics don't. I like when comics kind of like push the boundaries on art a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite things. So I feel like a lot of artists, they kind of fall back on kind of like a more, that's what you would say like modern comics art style all kind of blend together a little bit. Like Aquaman, even though I really liked it, the art by Ivan Reyes in that, it's just your pretty like standard comic book art.
Yeah.
It's very good, but it's not like it doesn't really leave a memorable impact on you.
The Flash did.
The Flash has this kind of it has a much more like stylized art style. Like if you look at it, it's like kind of almost it's like I mean they're comic books, but the Flash has almost like a more cartoonish art style than like one normally would.
So like instead of Teen Titans Go kind of.
It's not. That,
I'm not saying
far,
like that.
But yeah, you could look at it that way. And the way that I just think the way like movement is portrayed like on the page and in kind of like the panel layouts and stuff is like so good, and it's like so important in a Flash book, and I thought it was great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then Aquaman by Geoff Johns is just always great. It's like one of the most beloved things from the New 52. Like I read it back in like high school. It was like what got me into comics originally.
Yeah.
One of the things that did.
Yeah.
And so I knew that was good. I already thought that was great. I fucking love Aquaman, and I love Aquaman because of this Geoff Johns run.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I can just jump. I only have one other comic that I'm currently reading.
Go.
If you want to just transition to that.
Go.
Yeah, and then for comics, I'm currently reading Wonder Woman right now.
Okay. Is that the absolute Wonder Woman?
No. I'm reading New 52 Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And this, I'm about halfway through. Let me look up the writer and the artist again. I feel bad. I should have written this down.
I'm prepared. I'm always here. I'm ready to go. Brought to you by Cafecito.
Yeah, okay, so it was written by Brian Azzarello. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. And the art was by Cliff Chang, who also does Paper Girls. Do you ever read Paper Girls?
I recognize the name because of that.
Okay, yeah. This was really good. It's another one of those art styles that is a little more out of the norm for comic books, which I really like.
Yeah.
And I love this book so far.
Ooh,
If I'm about halfway through it right now, if it keeps going the way it's going, it might be my favorite comic that I've read this year.
Oh, wow.
I really like it that much. I think I would recommend it to you. I've heard criticism that it's like a very good comic, but it's not a great Wonder Woman story. I don't really see that yet, but I don't know a ton of Wonder Woman lore.
Okay.
So it's not something that's really affecting me. Like that they've like I know a big thing is that they like changed her origin a bit for New 52 and stuff. But I mean that's not something I really care about. I don't think even if I was super familiar with Wonder Woman, I like to think I wouldn't care because I kind of like that comics of kind of evolve and change that way. But this is great. The story is basically Zeus has gotten this mortal woman pregnant.
Okay.
And Hera wants to kill her. And so Wonder Woman is defending her basically from Hera,
attempts.
and also you're like other Greek gods are kind of like revolving around. Like you kind of see, I'm only halfway through it, but you kind of see like some of them are probably going to get involved soon because it's another child of Zeus that's coming into the world and stuff. And it is great.
Awesome. Like, and how long is that run for Wonder Woman?
How long is Brian Azzarello on it? I'm not sure.
Okay,
but I know
I was wondering if it will continue on to the next volume or something.
I think it does.
Okay, cool.
I think he's on it for a while. I'm not sure if he ever was that one of the cats.
Oh yeah, geez, I was like, that wasn't me.
I'm not sure how he continues on it. He might have been on it for the entire of the New 52. I don't know though.
Cool. Actually, it's Wonder Woman New 52. All right, add that to my TBR for sure.
Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. And then you want to talk about your current reads for your what you're reading?
Yeah,
novel-wise,
and then
book-wise?
so the only thing I'm reading novel-wise right now is The Just City by Joe Walton.
Awesome.
I'm finally getting to that. I am really enjoying it so far.
Nice.
I'm almost done with it. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be 5 stars. I don't think it's going to be 5 stars.
Okay.
But it might be. It could be 4 or 4.5 possibly. I'm really enjoying it right now.
Yeah.
But it's a very thinky book.
Yeah. You mean the book about philosophers in the
so
city?
It's a little weird. I think it's kind of like it's almost like I feel like it's kind of like how you see Le Guin.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't go that far actually.
Okay.
But it's much more into the philosophy I feel like than it is like a story.
Okay.
But there is still narrative there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like that book up there.
I haven't read it yet.
And that's all you're reading right now?
Yeah, what are you reading?
Awesome. I have 3 books that I'm currently reading right now. I'm about halfway through this one. Where are you? Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 3rd book of the Children of Time series. I I'm not sure how I'm connecting with this book right now. It feels a little bit rinse and repeat of the first two books, and I'm not enjoying that aspect of it so much. The narrative of this new world and this new species that they're interacting with is interesting enough, but I think that he's also doing something different in structure-wise comparatively to the first two books that is not connecting for me. And I'm halfway through right now. It's good enough. I want to finish off this series. I'm not sure if I have the arc for the fourth book, and I'm not sure if I want to continue on after this. If it's going to be kind of like the same rinse and repeat formula. And let's see how this goes. I know some people like it a lot, but a lot of people say that this is the weakest one. Kind of wanted to go look and see if like I was missing something. The other one that I'm going to be starting today is Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. It's a small little book. People are talking about it a lot recently, and I wanted to read this in December. And you know what? After that toxic ass fucking book that I just read, I need something that's gonna make me feel like depressed in a good way.
All right.
So Stephen Graham Jones, I think this deals a lot with a child's acceptance of grief and all that stuff.
Cool.
And the last one I'm reading, I don't have the physical copy, but it is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. It is a big boy. I'm not sure if it's as big as this, but it is a thick boy, and I'm about 8-9 chapters in, and it's fine right now. I'm kind of just going along for the ride. It seems like it's more appreciation towards how Dickens writes than, at least for now, and where I'm at in the series or in the story. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Did you want to say anything else? Anything else that you're currently looking forward to? Hey, kitty. Oh, I did actually want to say one thing.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So this week you're going to be getting our review for Strength of the Few by James Islington. And in that review, I gave it a decent score. I slightly lowered it.
Okay.
I slightly lowered it, and I'm not like one that's actually like fervently stuck to their guns on most books and all that stuff. And if there's good arguments that are presented, I'm usually like pretty firm on what my feelings on a book are. But if someone presents kind of information that I'm like, oh yeah, this is valid, I did lower it a little bit because of the prose.
The stuff that like me and Sherilyn were talking about? Or
Yeah.
different?
That's mostly like you guys bringing up those like explicit examples, and I'm like, that is kind of like really. It wasn't so noticeable for me. I don't know if I was just kind of like going through the motion. I'm just like, oh, I was more interested in like try to connect and make the connections of the like, hey, what's going on here, but.
Yeah, I feel bad because in the review, I don't think I explained it very well because I didn't have like the examples in front of me, which that's on me. I should have been better prepared for it.
Yeah, well, let's get a little.
But,
let's get a little taste of like the pros right now. Like,
yeah,
I think you gave it one example.
Yeah, the stuff that like me and Sherilyn were kind of pointing out was like when he would say like it'll be like let's say they're in the middle of dialogue or something, and it'll be like dialogue. Hesitates. Dialogue. And like it was like a stage direction. It was odd. But it's like I won't say the other example came to mind as a major spoiler.
But the fact that you brought it up, and then it wasn't just like one instance or like maybe a couple instances, it was like multiple instances throughout the book. That I'm just that's where like I'm not in like.
I remember
on me.
I remember I gave you I took a screenshot of my Kindle and I sent it to you and I was like, this was the type of thing I was talking about.
Yes.
And you were like, this is the exact same. You were like, this is the same example that Sherilyn used.
Yes.
And then Sherilyn was like, no, it wasn't. I used a different one.
So it
was just so similar.
Yeah, it was so damn similar. So yeah, that's why I lowered it slightly. I still find it an enjoyable book. I think from like a 4, I brought it down to like a 3.5 or 3.25. But you're gonna see that's where like we're at in Friday's video. And then I have stuff that I want to talk about this week.
Yeah, sure. Happened. I do too. You go first.
All right. So this week I hung out with my cousins. We watched The Phoenician Scheme, which is that Wes Anderson movie.
What did you think?
It was boring compared to most of his other.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I found it entertaining enough, but compared to his other movies, I feel like it was like a little bit of a slog.
I haven't seen all of his movies.
Okay.
And a lot of them I haven't seen super recently. But Phoenician Scheme was like one of my. I feel like it was one of my favorites. I really liked it.
I enjoyed it. I didn't say it was a bad movie. I enjoyed it, but compared to like his other movies that I've watched recently, not recently. I guess came out recently. I found it to be a little bit of a slog. That's where I'm kind of at.
That's fair.
Yeah. And so I did that. I tried watching some more anime, and I couldn't. I really it was really rough with work and stuff. But two big things. One, Inter Miami just won the MLS Cup. So they're the champions of the MLS. That's great. Love that. And it's, I think, Jordi Alba's last game, and I think Busquets' last game, and all these people were just like, it was really good. And some of the goals for that game against Vancouver were peak. The other thing I want to do, and why I'm wearing this shirt, is that the Hurricanes are in the college football playoffs, and oh my God, I need them to kick ass, because they disappointed me a little bit. They were really strong in the beginning part of the year, and then always somewhere in the middle they slip up and eat shit. I need them to go 4, because they were super strong in the beginning of this year and throughout most of the season, and I need them to really make a name for themselves. And lastly, this morning, my team, my second favorite driver of in F1 won they won the Constructors' Cup a while ago, but Lando Norris, he's now world champ of F1 series, and I'm super happy about it. Like, the guy was crying, and I was getting emotional hearing him cry and getting teary as he's driving around doing the lap, and they're all giving him congratulations over the radio, and awesome. So happy about that. Max won the race, but Lando was able to eke out with enough points to actually win the world championship. So
cool.
That's my week in sports and like all that stuff and movies.
Cool. The only big thing I did... Oh, wait, I can talk about... So, movies, I watched one movie.
Oh, okay.
I watched The Thunderbolts.
Oh, no. That's such... Okay.
Marvel?
Yeah.
Have you seen this one?
I have not, because I've heard terrible things.
Really? I've heard people say this is kind of one of the better recent movies. This is on the better side.
You forget my cousin is a super nerd. He's a DC nerd too, but
Yeah.
like, he watches all that stuff, and he did not like it.
Okay.
And usually I'm more in line with him on, especially with comic book stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people have said this is on the more positive side of the recent Marvel movies.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Okay. It was, yeah.
Very much at all. There's like, I think people get a little distracted by one cool fight scene towards the end.
Okay.
But I'm like, that's like 3 minutes out of a 2-hour movie. Like, I agree that scene is really cool, but it's 3 minutes out of a 2-hour movie.
Okay.
And like, nothing else cool happens in that movie.
Yeah, I heard it was a little bit boring too, so that's why I'm just kind of like, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched a lot of Marvel recently. Same thing with Star Wars. I haven't watched a lot of Star Wars.
It was very boring. I will say, so I think it's kind of weird. Florence Pugh's character.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. She's like the main character of this movie.
Yeah.
And I get that. Florence Pugh is a great actor. She's great in this movie.
Yeah.
But it felt kind of weird that Bucky was in this movie, and he's like barely in it. You would think that they'd be trying to...
Well, Bucky's not part of the Thunderbolts. It's the other guy. It's
no, he is.
Isn't Kurt Russell's kid the main?
He's
guy?
also in it. He's not like the main one, but they're both in it.
Okay, I didn't realize Bucky was also a part of the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, he's in it. He's like on the team.
Okay,
in the movie at least. I don't know anything about the Thunderbolts in the comics.
Okay. Maybe he was just like there for a couple days for shooting.
But it felt really strange because it felt like I don't know. I don't know why. I felt like I guess in my kind of thinking about it, I would think that like he would kind of be the one they want to position as like a newer like taking the center stage after like Captain America and stuff. Like Sam Wilson and Bucky had the show, and I would think like after that, like Sam got his own movie, Bucky got this, I guess, but it's not like Bucky's movie.
Yeah. Like
by any means. He's in it out of all the characters on the team, I think he's in it the least.
Okay.
It felt very odd.
And it was just boring.
And and I like Wyatt Russell's character.
Okay.
I like his character a lot.
What's his name? It's not like Homelander, but
it's like U.S. Agent.
Yeah, U.S. Agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I liked him a lot. I liked his character. I liked his performance. But everyone else I felt was kind of like super forgettable.
Yeah.
Even I didn't. Okay, I'll wait for you to come back.
Go.
I watched like half of the Black Widow movie and then I stopped watching it because I was like, this is bad and boring.
That was fine too.
But David Harbour as David Harbour as Red Guardian in this, I felt was like kind of dumb, and I didn't really like it. And I
thought so too.
Kind of a little similar to Bucky. He's kind of like barely in it.
So anyone...
Which is fine, but I'm kind of like, why was he even here in the first place? Really?
Okay.
I think literally he was only there because the team like needed more power.
Okay.
The team, it's like a very low power team, and I think they just kind of needed a little more, maybe.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a weird, just like, I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. It was like a weird, just like slightly below average movie.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, so... Oh, I heard that it wasn't enjoyable, so I haven't watched it.
And then the kind of big thing I did this week was literally just last night. I got home at 2 a.m. from concert. I saw David Byrne with my fiance and a couple of friends, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a great time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
2 a.m. is really late for you.
It is, yeah. I'm the type of person who goes to bed at like 8:30.
I was having brews and just like eating shit with friends.
Yeah.
And I was just...
So I got home. We usually film these like pretty, not super early, but we film these like early in the morning. I got home and I was like, listen, I'm home super late. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. I'll text you when I wake up.
I was already on the way by the time you messaged me. So. All right, awesome. So I guess that was our week in just reading and just like life and stuff like that. Tell us about your week. Let us know what you're reading currently. Let us know what you think about our takes on the books that we read. Please tell me that you hate the book that I hate too. And yeah, let us know what's going on in your life.
It was a bad book. I also don't like it, but it's so funny because you have like venom for it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just like, it was a bad book.
It was. I've read books that feel like rough drafts and were terrible and everything, nothing good about it. This felt worse for me. I was at least able to enjoy those books and like find laughter in that.
Yeah.
This was just infuriating and horrifying and disgusting.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Perfect.
All right.
So,
thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join us again for next weekly read. Just have fun out there, okay?
Watching.
Keep watching.
Thanks.
Peace.
See ya.